Welcome to Caribbean Millennials.
Welcome to episode 109 and happy Caribbean American Heritage Month. Happy Pride Month. And happy podcast anniversary, guys.
Yay.
It's 3 years.
Damn.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
Longer than majority of my relationships.
Wow. Awkward.
Okay. You went there. That's wow.
Yep.
Yeah, guys. June
It's gonna be one
7th.
of those days.
Well, I guess June 6th was the night Vernon uploaded the podcast, but it was officially June 7th that we were publishing it out there for the world. Like,
Nah, I probably uploaded it June 7th in the morning.
I looked at the data.
So what we're saying
No,
is
I
that
probably created
tomorrow is my
the
Memorial Day.
Sure.
I can take tomorrow off.
Yes, holiday.
All right. Yeah. Let me let the boss.
I don't know how your employer will feel about that, but
Hey, it's been 3 years, okay? I've earned this.
what do we have to show for it, guys?
Memories.
sure.
Lots
100
of happy
plus
listeners.
episodes of friendship and more friendship.
I know you guys saw the thing one of our listeners sent. Seeing that's Vernon.
Oh my god, I was dying laughing.
With one of our listeners sent in a image or GIF with what's the video? But
Oh,
it
the
has
video of the
The
guy
massage
massaging
one.
yeah, it has a
Yeah.
guy
the other person
massaging.
just slapping the hand.
Yeah, don't touch that. Yeah, I'm watching you, buddy.
Guys, I don't know why you think I'd have a problem with that.
Because of something you probably said in the previous
No,
episode
no, no,
about
no,
you
no.
not
I-
liking men massaging me.
No.
Vernon, we're not going back there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just funny. It was just
yeah,
funny.
I'm not going back there because I think maybe I worded what I was trying to say the wrong way, and I don't really feel like going and revisit that or rewording it. So
Yeah, it wasn't
Out
said in a
there-
malicious way. It was just
No,
like
no,
a-
yeah.
No, it was so funny.
yeah, and it's out there. It's whatever. You'll know where I stand. I mean, I thought it was funny, but still, like.
I burst out laughing when I saw it. So thank you.
I mean, that's not like I know, Danny. I know you've seen the one of the guy who does quote unquote massaging women.
oh yeah.
on
Yeah, I've seen that.
Instagram.
Oh yeah,
Like now, let's be serious. That's not a fucking massage.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's a fucking
Oh,
massage.
wow.
That's a happy ending, right?
Yeah.
All happy, no ending.
Especially when you see women in the comments like, "Oh my god, he did that to me and I came or whatever." I was like, "Yeah, dog." Like,
You know, that's like a whole like side thing now that
Yes.
people like getting massages
Yes.
to come.
yes, I know. Because let me tell you how I know. Because there was a Twitter thread a while back, and some people were in an argument for her because she said some wildly outrageous thing, and then somebody said, "What do y'all expect from somebody who claims that's what she does for a living and whatnot?" I was like, "What the fuck they talking about?" So I actually clicked into the person profile.
Yeah,
Aside
I think
scroll, I was
remember.
like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Okay, like
yeah.
this is actually a thing. Like
Yeah,
people do this."
and I think massage therapists are not like traditional massage therapists, not about it for sure, because there are rules and regulations to like protect people. And I don't know if we've discussed this before, but my hairdresser was saying one of the salons or spas she worked at before, they ended up firing a guy because he was, sexually harassing people or it's not harassment at that point, assaulting, I guess, or
What the fuck?
during
Like,
massage. And there were a few people he got away with before it like blew up, or they let it happen a few times before they let him go,
Nah, bro. Like
or
my thing
something.
is,
So
if you want that kind of thing, you can buy a vibrator and lock yourself in a room. I don't think we should be like that's a odd line to be like
Very.
that's
That's
like I try to say it in a nice way, but like the best way I can say that's borderline paying for that's borderline prostitution.
you feel
That's
like
like
it's
paying
sex
for a
work
prostitute.
almost, right? Because you feel
I
like it's
don't even
sex work.
I don't want to call it sex work because the actual sex worker takes pride in the fact that they're a sex worker and they call a spade a spade.
What
Like
some people,
think
that's so
it rides that
deceptive.
gray line of
mm-hmm.
it's not just a massage.
Erotic massage or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
whatever.
suppose like
However,
yeah.
it's not full blown.
And what I don't like as well is that, and I don't know, some people may get me for this, but maybe I need to go and do some research. But what I don't like is some people wanting to call that like energy work slash
Yeah, no,
reiki,
no, no.
whatever,
I'm
whatever.
100% with you
That
there.
rubs me the wrong way, because there are ways that you can use energy work and healing and proper reiki to, like, fix your sacral chakra and all of that
Bruh,
without like
you don't
all of
have to
this. You
have
don't even have to touch somebody to
exactly.
do
That's what I was
energy
about to
work
say.
on them.
You don't have
And
to
it's
have
about like
somebody.
consent and all of those things.
Bruh.
Anyway, yeah,
Nah,
that's a
yeah.
whole.
I don't know if like they're doing that because they don't want to call themselves sex workers. They're trying to find a slick
Yeah,
way to do it without calling themselves sex workers. But like, dog,
yeah.
like I feel like it's borderline prostitution, but it's also like disrespectful to sex workers as well. Because dog, if you're a sex worker, just say you're a sex worker and finish with that. This like this is
Gray area.
deceptive.
Hey,
It's
baby.
deceptive.
Yeah,
Yep.
50 Shades of Grey.
Like you don't have like
But I guess they're
no
trying to
massage
not
school.
put a label on themselves so that they're not.
Oh, and by not putting a label, okay, you're not trying to put a label on yourself, but you're willing to put videos out of you of sessions with you and your clients,
It's
your
like
quote unquote clients.
is OnlyFans like ex hamster, like
Well, it's a well.
like there's this like
I get yeah.
it's connected, but is it the same?
And for me, it's like dog. Like no massage school trains you to have your client on you naked, and you like nah, like
Yeah,
no
that's a
no.
special kind of advanced class.
If the dog, that's the grandmaster masseuse training, because what?
You have to go to the highest mountain in Tibet and train at the top for 6 years. Only then can you become a master
Right? And I don't want to sound
masseuse.
like I like yucking anybody here, or like I dissing people or whatnot. It's just that for me, that's like a very it's a very deceptive thing, and like I don't know.
Now the
Next one.
question is how long before it becomes the norm? Like how long will it go on before normal masseuses are forced to feel like they have to
I
offer?
No,
don't
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think
no,
they'll
no. That's
ever
not
get
gonna
that way.
happen.
Mhm.
No.
I do not think so. And let me tell you why. I do not think the number of people wanting that kind of
Mm-hmm.
service
Mm-hmm.
is as big as these people make it out to seem. A lot of people genuinely want to just go to a massage place and get a like, boy, I have this knot in my neck, in my shoulder, I just want a proper massage and go at my home. They come to look for nothing sexual, none of that. They just come to just dog, I have this pain in my upper left shoulder. I really need someone to just uh, work that out. Maybe I need a small Asian lady to jump on my back type thing, But nobody wants no somebody rubbing up on them and nah.
Bookmark for 5 years in the future.
All right.
No. And that one I willing. That's a hill I willing to get on there and say like stand by. I don't think that is going
Okay.
to become a norm.
All right.
Yeah.
Adani, remember how we had that calendar invite about I didn't choose the boat life choose me? Can you
Uh-huh.
do one for 5 years from now on
I didn't
on
choose the
the happy
masseuse,
ending?
the
The
happy
happy
ending,
ending.
and it chose me.
Well,
Oh, nice.
listen, here's my thing. That's like a regular, like you're joking about it being a happy ending, and yes, it is. But that like a regular, like you go in some backroom shady massage parlor, and the lady decide to give you a hand job at the end of the thing.
She
That's
didn't
like
just decide. It's not a.
uh, either way, but at least you still get a massage, okay? Like they come and like, oh yeah, massage, and they're like happy ending, whatever. Like these people set out with the goal of get naked. Like let me do all the sex positions with you without penetrating you, basically.
Well, shout out to the listener that got us on this massage deal all over again. Um. All right, Adani, how was your week?
Oh, it was
Wow.
lovely. My week was lovely. Had a holiday. Although the holiday was on a Thursday, so it's not really a holiday if it doesn't border a weekend.
Really? I feel like
Hey, I don't make the rules.
okay.
Okay,
Wow.
Okay. All right.
you know,
My bad.
you either need it on a Friday or a Monday, and that doesn't include the events where there are two holidays back to back. Because like Christmas and whatever, you can deal with that. But one holiday, like you're on Memorial Day, right? So it's supposed to be the Saturday. It was supposed to be the Saturday, I believe, the actual date of Memorial Day. But they're like, no, you guys get the Monday, it's a long weekend. So I just, Corpus Christi must be on this exact Thursday in every year since the beginning of time. Like, no, give me the Friday. Like, give me the Friday. Because literally, the Wednesday is now my Friday, and now the Friday is my Saturday.
I know you just blew. You just my mind is trying to compute. Right? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
because now I have a holiday.
Sorry.
So the Friday is my
Yeah, Friday is like you coming into work on a Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah.
The day before the holiday is like my Friday, and then the day after the holiday is like my Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah,
So
I get you.
yeah, nobody's doing any work. We're just chilling. So productivity 4 days straight. Fuck, just make it normal 4 days. I don't know.
I feel you. Anushka, how's your week?
My week was good. We had a holiday as well, but it was Monday. So it was same, well, different but similar 4-day work week. And I just feel like the 4-day work week is where it's at. Like, why do we need the fifth one? But it was good. I worked from downtown one day this week. And it was good to get the change of scenery, but it's like now it's looking like for the past 3 weeks I'm going to Dallas one day a week, and it's like, is this our new normal? Like, I don't miss driving that much. But sometimes it is good to just, get in a room and collaborate with people. You can get a lot more done, and just a change of scenery was nice.
Okay.
Vernon, how's your week?
How's the week, man? It is what it is. I started working night shift. Yeah. I'm sorry I don't seem as enthusiastic. It's normal for me, in my opinion. Like the hardest part of it was like the Sunday, the very first day. Well, the Sunday going into the Monday. I don't know, but that's because we woke up at like 9, recorded the podcast, then we went out from like 1 to like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And then I started working at 11 p.m. till 9 a.m. the next day.
But he was the one who was like, I don't need to sleep.
Well, it's not I didn't need to sleep. I came home and I tried to sleep and I wasn't falling asleep. So I was just like, fuck it, like I guess I'll sleep tomorrow after work. And by like 7:30 the next day, I was feeling it and I was mad tired, but that's expected. But once I went to sleep, I was fine. Next day was fine. Day after was fine. So now I have like a 3-day. Well, technically, I call that shit like a 4-day weekend because what I work Wednesday 11 to 9 a.m. on Thursday, and then I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday because I start working again at 11 p.m. on Sunday. So yeah, I have like mad time on my hand now.
So what you gonna do with it?
I don't know, and don't question that. Let me that's a secret.
Damn.
Maybe I might be working on some secret project behind the scenes. Maybe I'm starting my own another podcast on my own.
Yeah, we'd never know.
Exactly. Planning to break up with you all. Yeah, you would never fucking know. I could record a podcast in the middle of the night, like at 3 a.m. You wouldn't fucking know.
You don't think I could record a podcast at
No.
5 a.m., 7 a.m. and you'd never know?
Nah, bro.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Unless you do it off your phone, yeah. You can't really operate the mic stand too well. So anyway.
Damn, Vernon. Call me out, why don't you?
Nah. So what are we talking about this week? I don't know. I'm going to be honest, working nights and then sleeping throughout the day. I haven't really been keeping up with what's going on social media and news wise and that kind of stuff.
I have something to talk about that happened this week.
Okay.
And I want to roll that into a broader conversation about generations. And it's something that's going to get you a bit heated.
Was it me heated?
Yeah, gonna get you heated.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say
bring the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Naomi Osaka.
Oh no! That not getting me heated. You know I stand on that already.
But the people of the podcast don't know where you stand.
Yeah.
So do you want to rewind?
Yeah.
And give the context
before the French Open is going on, right? Roland Garros, the clay Grand Slam happens every year. Before it started, I feel like maybe a couple of days, or let's just say a week max before. I don't think it was a week; it was just a couple of days. Naomi Osaka put out a statement basically saying that when Roland Garros starts, she will not be doing any after-match press conferences because in tennis and Grand Slams tournaments, it happens. After you play a match, whether you win or lose, you go into a press conference and the press asks you questions. What was your plan? What happened to you out there? You dropped in this set. What was going through your mind? How you brought yourself out? That kind of stuff. And sometimes they can ask some invasive questions, and it can suck sometimes. Let's say you play a match and you were on your way to winning, and the other guy or girl, woman, sorry, bested you and you lost, and maybe it was your match to win and you lost. So you down, you cry, and you're a little hurt, and it sucks a little that they're asking you questions at that time. But I mean, it's the name of the game. But Naomi Osaka says she's not doing any press conferences to protect her mental health and whatever, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. No biggie. I saw it and the first thing I thought was, that's dumb. Because now you've kind of fucked the press over, because some of these people, we haven't had tennis going on much since the pandemic started. It's now started. Some of these people make their livelihood on going to these conferences and getting these stories and whatnot.
So she's supposed to prioritize the press over her mental health?
Hold on. Asking. I'm not saying that. You need to listen.
I'm listening.
There's a whole thing to that. These people make their money, they get their stories, they write their stories, they sell it, but also your sponsors who pay you the millions of dollars that have made you now the highest paid female athlete in the world, they pay you for appearing at these conferences and the tournaments and whatnot. And now you have basically just said to your sponsors, fuck you, I don't feel like doing that because I want to protect my mental health. So then, first day comes, she plays, she wins, she doesn't do the press conference, tournament finds her.
And she say, okay, I got that money.
Second day, fine her again, tell her if you keep doing it, we're going to default you from the tournament.
And
then she comes and says, oh, respectfully, I'm not going to do it and I'm dropping out of the tournament. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, here's my stance on this. All well and good, you want to protect your mental health. Mm-hmm. But, homegirl, this is what you signed up for. Professional athlete. Highest paid tennis player, female tennis player, female athlete in the world. Nike throwing mad money behind you to be a face of their brand. Yonex, the tennis racket get used. They throw mad money behind you, face of it, to a point that Nike throwing money, unlimited money at you, for you to start whatever clothing line you feel like. Tomorrow you can wake up and decide you want to brand a trash bag with Nike on it, and it will make a campaign and put it out there for you.
Can I
Go ahead.
put something? I get what you're saying, right? I agree with everything that you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But something to consider is those press conferences used to mean more for sponsors before than they do now. Nike and Yonex and whoever has more access at different levels of her than they
Okay.
did ever before. So
Okay.
even for them, does that press conference even matter that much for the sponsor?
I'm not saying it matters that
right?
much, but it's part of the thing. But also, it matters for the tournament. It matters for the tournament. It's a big part of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have just decided you're not going to partake. So you want to come, you want to play, you want to win or lose, and then you want to walk away, and you don't want to give the tournament anything else. Like, come on, my G. That's a little, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for protecting your mental health. Okay, that's cool. Maybe you can think of another way to do it, be that maybe you don't do the press conference directly after the match and whatnot. But put your big girl pants on and do your fucking job. That's where I stand. Adjust it a little. Don't do it right away. Do it a little after. Because here's my thing. You don't think people like Andy Murray, when Andy Murray gets his ass beat in front of the whole of England and the Queen at the Wimbledon he was supposed to win by Roger Federer, and he break down and he cried. If you don't think Andy Murray went and did the press conference, you think he wanted to? No, but he went and he did it. When Serena lose to people how many times? You think Serena want to go and do this press conference? Serena chasing that 24th Grand Slam. You think she want to go and sit in a press conference and answer, oh, what happened out there, or how you lose, whatever? No. But what she do, she put on her big girl pants and she go out there and she do the fucking press conference and be done with that. And maybe sometime in the middle of the press conference, she do actually just get up and she walk out. That's fine. But at least show up. Don't just decide, you know what, I don't feel like doing it, so I'm not doing it. Life don't work that way, Miss C.
Okay. So we're gonna leave Vernon's opinion there, and then I'm going to bring in another piece of content, and then Adani, I want to hear what you have to say, and then we can further discuss. One of my Facebook friends, I didn't ask their permission, so I'm not gonna say their name, but they posted this. Gen Zs in the workplace. If you are millennial, middle or senior manager, have not commenced reading and researching on mannerisms of Gen Zs, you are in for a rude awakening and some very frustrating days ahead. They will prioritize their mental health. They will question archaic and oppressive norms and values, and they will also take them down. They will not tolerate what you tolerated from your abusive Gen X and Boomer seniors. You will be reported. I've watched many reactions to Mr. Osaka's decision, and there is a clear generational shift in the perceptions of work ethic, self-care, and mental health. Perhaps this situation offers a glimpse of what is to come. Story developing. Wouldn't take a breath. Adani, you have anything
I
to
just
say?
have to laugh.
No,
that
but
shit is hilarious.
But I
to
do
me.
think they're bringing up a valid.
I'm
a
not-
valid
Anushka,
point.
I will let Adani talk
It
because
is
I do
a
not. I
generational
agree.
difference.
It is a valid point.
Mhm.
Do not get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I will state my I will state my feelings on that when it's my time. Trust me.
Adani, you there?
Yeah.
Thoughts? And I guess, did y'all talk about this in your household since your sister's a tennis player and all of that?
Oh, yeah, we kind of did. And at the end of the day, I only know what has been put on the news. I don't know her personal life. I don't know what's going on in her personal life. It would be unfair of me to not try and put on her shoes and be like, well, maybe something's going on, something's happening. Same way if something's going on with me or you or anybody, and you don't want to go to work, and sometimes you have to go to work, you don't have a choice, but sometimes you really just can't go to work. Like, you really just can't. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm in the middle. I'm neutral on it. Like, it it doesn't really affect me personally. So, like, I have no skin in the game. Like, if she stays out of the tournament, she stays out of the tournament. If she continues playing, she continues playing. If she doesn't go to a press conference, she doesn't go to a press conference. Like, if LeBron does the same thing, doesn't affect me either. Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, like, I'd be very sad if Bolt, you know, said he wouldn't participate at an event, but Bolt also did stuff like that where he wouldn't show up to a press conference, or he wouldn't do this because, of feelings that he had about this person or that, etc. So, I mean, if you're giving people, right, more rights, and maybe not giving them more rights is the right term, but if you're giving people the ability to express themselves more and to be more control of their lives, then you have to do it across the board. You cannot just say that you working as a janitor can do this, but if you're making millions playing tennis or playing football, then you can't do any of these things. Like, so it's I think we get into that generational thing, like you said, that the new generation wants to, I wouldn't say work less, but they want to be treated better, right? Than like a lot of things that our parents and we have went through, they don't want to go through that. And that's fair. I mean, we didn't have a choice. But if somebody is standing up and saying that, they don't want to go through that, like, I cannot really fault
Well,
them, especially since the world is only getting more difficult.
and I think what you said there is very important because you said we didn't have a choice. And I think that's the character difference. We think, oh, we didn't have a choice. We just have to play within the system. And they're saying, no, I have a choice. I'm not doing this.
Okay. So here's my take on that. I agree. All right. Break down the norms and all that
Because
jazz.
I guess if we're saying normalize mental health, normalize this, normalize that, whatever, I get you. But you saying there's a way and a time and place of how
It's not
to do
even a
it, right?
time and place, just a way.
Mhm.
There's a way to do it in a respectful and
But
a
people are saying
proper
that she did it
decorum.
gracefully. They saying she did it gracefully.
I think for me, part of it is being a tennis player and watching tennis for so long and seeing how other people have carried themselves and understanding that there's a way to do it, that I look at that and it's like, you could have gone about this completely different.
Mhm.
All right? Because the end result is that you have taken a spot, first of all, a spot in the draw. Had
That
you dropped
somebody
out,
else.
the seeding would have changed and somebody else would have gotten a wild card in there and gotten a chance to play.
Mhm.
And it come to the same thing as you just deciding, hey, I taking French Open off and I'm not playing
Mhm.
because I want to work on my mental health. You could have done that from the get-go. That's my thing. You didn't have to do all this disruptive shit. And I get that's a
And I
generation
mean,
of disruption.
she's also apologized because she say she didn't, want
But
things
that's
to
my
take
thing
up
with
so
this
much.
girl.
But even with her as well, right? And not bashing her, just talking about it as a concept, right? This girl, like from even before all of this, you just look at her from like one of her first things with Serena, whatever. Like that girl just screams like social anxiety,
Exactly.
right?
But that's what I was about to say. But that's the thing with this girl. I look at her and I go to say something. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just her demeanor. To me, I look at her and this girl is not cut out for this. She's a good tennis player. Don't get me wrong. Very good, great tennis player. but she will not last long in this spotlight, and
under the current terms. That's why I guess
she
she's kind
will
of
not last
painting
long
her.
on a whole. I mean, let me tell you that, Anushka. She avoid the press conference, that's fine. But even if they come and they rework it where you don't have to do press conferences, she's still going to have to deal with what the press is going to write about her. And she will read it and she will go through the same depression and she will feel the same way. This is the nature of the game. Whether you talk to them or not, they will write bad things about you.
And that was another point that was brought up, in that they were saying, like, people are like, okay, get it, whatever, but it's important for press and people or whatever to be able to write the stories as they kind of observe and whatever, and not for you to be able to control every
You can't
narrative.
dictate the story.
And I mean, I'm kind of caught in between, kind of like at Annie, because it's like I do support and stand for people's like mental health and taking time and all of that, but it's also like you've seen people go through harder, but then it's like the next generation is observing and saying, okay, I saw y'all go through harder, I'm just not going to go through that.
Let me show you that.
You know, which is like, okay, can you fault that? Like,
let me show you that. For years, there was a tournament Serena and Venus did not play because they experienced some racism. There. They woke up one day and say, yo, I tired of this racism thing, I'm not playing. If you see this girl, Naomi Osaka walk up and say, yo, right now, I can't deal with the press talking to me. Like, it's fucking up my mental. I'm not playing any tournaments until I can get my mental health in the right place. I understand. But you see, that's my thing. She want to have her cake and eat it. You want to stay and be world number one or whatever, but you don't want to do the press conference. Because you know if you decide you're not playing French Open, you go lose the points and you go drop in rankings. But here we are. The same fucking situation where you lose the points and you're going to drop in ranking. So my thing is, we could have avoided all of this and you could have said, yo, I need some time to work on my mental health. For that reason, I'm taking the next couple tournaments off. The press has been really getting to me. I just need some time to realign and refocus and recenter and whatnot. And we would have been fine. But you do that, you do all this disruption, you cause all these issues in the draw and all that stuff. And then now you come to the same thing and talking about, oh, I will work with the tournament directors and the association, to try and, change how this goes. Let me, newsflash, I go help you right now, my G.
I'm pretty sure she's not listening to our podcast.
And even if she is, I go help you out, my G. It ain't go change much. The most they go give you now is a little delay between the time you have to do the press conference and not or whatnot, and they will probably tell the people to not ask the same question over and over. That's about it. And let me tell you something. They may not ask the question in the press conference. They will catch your ass on the street and they'll ask you the question there. They will email your people. They will ask you the question one way or another.
But it's like also...
and when they don't get the answer, they'll make up a fucking answer. And let me tell you something.
But the question is, is that but the thing is, I guess the question is that right? Like going back to the systems and
how you stopping the press? Please tell me. Because the press are freedom of speech. So tell me how you stopping them.
Okay, but then jeez, attack me.
I'm not attacking you, but at the end of the day, my thing with the Gen Zs, they're picking every and any fight to fight. They're not sitting and watching and saying, dog,
yeah,
I have
can
a
we
gun
talk about that
with 6 bullets, and as opposed to just walking in and shooting up the fucking room, I will go and I will pick I'll focus on the big people that I want to shoot and be done.
And so I guess let's go into that more, right? So Naomi Osaka put that to bed, whatever, right? Keep it moving, right?
Keep it moving.
But on this topic of Gen Zs and us as millennials needing to be more aware of their behaviors and that kind of thing, right? Personally, I don't know too much about them, especially in the workplace, because on my team, I'm the youngest person on my team, right? I think similar to you, all of your coworkers are millennials or
wait,
Gen
if somebody
X.
25 is what?
25 is millennial.
Okay.
Is the
Okay.
youngest
All right.
millennial.
Well then, yeah, everybody on my
Yeah,
case is
you're
millennial.
right. Adani, I don't know what your work situation is like, but I imagine similar, right? But you also saw through your teaching experience, I guess maybe they're Gen Zs or like be the generation coming up after them, right? Like
Yeah, because they were born in the 2000s.
right. I think 2015 is the cutoff for you know who the Gen Zs right now. But
Yeah,
that
quite a
thing
few of those
Vernon
exist.
that thing Vernon brought up of like it seems like they're just fighting everybody.
Yeah.
It
Just
like I
fighting for
think that
fighting's sake.
seems like a trend. It's like there was this thing on like trying to fight and criticize millennials for side parts in their hair
I
versus doing
saw
a
that
middle part,
bullshit,
right?
and I'm
Like
like, dog, what?
and it's also I don't know, I feel like for us millennials, like we find our groove, find our space, and it's like, is it just having the shit reversed on us? Because I guess we were laughing at boomers, but now we
Yep.
getting things from Gen Z. But I feel like the Gen Z being more aggressive to us,
And the things they want to
and
laugh at.
boomers were more people older than us were more attacking millennials, and now it also feels like the Gen Z is also attacking millennials.
But here's the thing: the things the we picked on the boomers for and laughed about were probably very serious things.
Mm.
Okay, much serious things like, oh, you'll fuck up the housing market for us, you'll fuck up the economy for us.
Right.
Gen Zs are legit making fun of people for having
Their
side parts with
appearance,
middle
yeah.
parts. What the fuck? Like that's the fight you want to fight right now?
But
Oh,
they,
I mean,
but they young,
to be
a
you know.
hairstyle?
to be fair to them, right? Their entire existence has been one of visual and social cues, right? They were born with internet.
Yeah,
They
because
were
we are the
born with social
digital
media.
pioneers and they're the
Yeah.
digital natives,
And
right?
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
so-
born on every aspect of digital life and
Yes.
internet, and
These are
they
the
had
people with
phones in primary school. They've been consuming internet since they were babies and TV since they were babies. Some of us didn't have TV until like we were well into primary school, like, you know, and even then it was two channels, HS and DBS, right? So I think what we are seeing in their behavior is definitely a product of the environment. The world at large has created what Gen Zs are today. So now we just have to deal with it. Imagine you're looking at stuff on Twitter and Facebook and TikTok from the time you're 10, that will warp your sense of what is
And I think-
important and what's not.
And I think even on the thing of social media, like this was the generation that came up with having a Finsta, right? Like a fake Instagram account, right? To like manage perceptions, right? Of like how and what you're showing kind of thing.
I agree with you on what you're saying there. And here's my issue with all of that. That's a generation that want to disrupt and attack and make fun of Gen Z and try and disrupt millennials and disrupt everything. And that's okay. It's okay to disrupt things. Things need to be disrupted.
Mhm.
But also, that's a generation that have a lot of growing up to do.
But they're
Be-
young.
yes, and that's fine. But when we were young, we were not that dumb. That's my thing.
I think every generation says that about
No,
the next one.
no. Anushka, if you look at some of the things these people harp on and things they pick on, it's like in your mind, it's like, bruh, like they have bigger fish to fry in the world. They have bigger things to breed. And for me, y'all go, the Gen Zs go and they harp on the millennials and the boomers and all these things. But the thing for me is the Gen Zs are the one that have the most mental health issues, the most social anxieties and all these things. And it's like, bruh, maybe you need to take some
They
time
may not
and
have
work on
the
yourself.
they may not have the most, but because we have stuff, but we've just
They're the ones
continued
who
living life
voice it
through
the
it.
most.
Yeah, all my anxiety is waking up just as a part of regular conversation. Where for us, it took a long way to even be comfortable with telling people you have
But here's the
anxiety,
thing.
right?
even if your anxiety waking up, you as a millennial, you know what you do sometimes? You put your big girl pants on and you work through what you have to work through and deal with your anxiety later because you have shit to
To
get
get
done.
done. Yeah.
These people, by anxiety waking up, shut down. It's
Mhm.
like a crippling anxiety for them. And for me, it's
I
like instead
I
of
think
attacking millennials, maybe y'all need to sit back for a little bit and work on yourselves.
I think
So
in trying to make the world fairer and a better place, we have given the younger generation a lot of crutches,
Yes.
and in some aspects that's good, in some aspects that's terrible,
Bad. Yes, man.
because if you have to rely on crutches for the rest of your life when the doctors told you that you can walk, then you will never walk. You will
You're
always be on
okay.
crutches. So I think in some aspects, and I notice this a lot in schooling, like almost like they've babied Gen Zs into like, well, you can be anything you want to be. You don't really need to work hard at school. You can be a TikToker, you can be an Instagrammer, you can be a YouTuber. These days
Danny,
you can do anything you
fuck.
want to do, right? You don't need to study hard at school. You don't need to do all these things. You don't need to work hard. And like I'm looking at these gentlemen, in form 3, 4, 5, and I'm like, how are you guys still so unsettled? Like, how are you guys going to survive in this world when you can't survive in this protected environment that is school?
Danny,
Like, like at some point you have to say, okay, we want to make the world a better place, but that doesn't mean that everybody gets to just have a free pass to do whatever they want
Danny,
to do.
you said something there in that, like, they tell them, oh, you don't have to work hard at school or whatever because you can be anything. But you see, in telling them that, what people not realizing what they're doing is they're teaching these people no work ethic. You may not have to work hard at school, but you have to work hard at something, Missy. The whole
And
point of this institution of school and all these things, I hate it or not, you learn a lot of life lessons. You learn work ethic. If
but
you
I mean,
have
at
no
least
work
you have to
ethic,
get the basics down. You have to know math
yes,
to do stuff with numbers. You have to know English to speak and write effectively, right? You have to know a little bit about history, geography, science.
so
I don't
let
want to
me
If you're
sound like
going
the
to
old
do
head.
TikTok and all those
No,
internet things, video
listen,
editing, you need to know a little IT, like, but it's amazing that somebody, right, can know everything to do about Cardi B and who's the latest male artist,
we really sounded
the Migos guys or whoever, you
Migos
know
or
the you
Drake.
know the
oh
yeah,
boy.
Drake, whoever. They know everything to do about that, but you cannot put on a desktop computer, but you know everything to do with Drake and Migos and who's the local one, Sabans. You know everything to do about the latest artists, right? The latest music videos. There was something they were doing where they were like, wee, wee. I still don't know where that's from, but they were doing that all the time in class. I'm like, where the hell is that from? It's so bad. I was listening to a show on in America and I heard it and I was like, okay, that must be something popular if they are talking about that. But like, how can you, like, the balance? There's no balance. Like, they know everything about what they're not supposed to know, but they know nothing about what they're supposed to know, right?
Mhm.
And I think the way society is going, we're going to go into a very lopsided society. People don't want to work, right? People won't want to work.
Oh,
People won't be able to work because they won't have enough knowledge to do anything of use, right? The arts are going to be flooded because everybody going to want to try and do something in that
everybody's a content
genre.
creator.
Yeah, they want to stream, they want to do TikTok, they want to do Instagram, or they want to do OnlyFans. Nothing against that, right? But not everybody can do that. When you do all these things, right? When the majority of your society is Instagram, TikTok, social media, and artistry, right? Who going to fix your plumbing? Who going to build your house?
Mhm.
Who going to put
A doctor.
electricity in your conduits? Who going to be a doctor? Right? Who going to do sewage? Your septic tank going to back up, and no amount of OnlyFans money going to be able to fix that. You're going to have to buy a new house. Like, because you literally cannot live there anymore. Like, like, there are these fundamental things in society that when we tell people that, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, we need to be careful where we stay everyone. Because at that point, if everyone does what they want to do and everyone has been taught that they want to do the easy way out, which is YouTube and
Nobody does
streaming,
what
and
they have to do.
yeah,
Everyone
then
doing what they want to do. No one does what they have to
who
do.
does the things that actually have to be done to keep society moving? Like, who does accounting? Who does becoming a lawyer? Who does becoming a doctor? Right? Who's a vet? Right? You have all these animals in your YouTube videos and they just die. Like, like who does the basics? Right? I'm not saying everybody has to be an astronaut, but at some point, you need police officers, you need firemen, right? I
Adani,
don't know how soon
I
before we
get
get to
what
the
you're saying.
future in like Total Recall, or one of
And
these
Adani,
movies where the entire
Adani,
police force is a robot.
Adani. But who going to program the robot if everybody is a TikToker and an Instagram influencer?
We just I feel like
So
we're
many
setting
thoughts.
our
So many
future
thoughts.
up imbalanced, very imbalanced ways, right? Because even now, right, we have full-time jobs, but we have the podcast, right? We have other things that we do, right? We have other business ideas that we've had, right? We on the hustle, right? But in the next 10 years, the hustle is going to be like, pranking people in downtown Castries for YouTube views.
It's already a hustle for some people, right? It just hasn't moved some places yet, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, but I'm saying when it gets to that point where in downtown Castries people are pranking each other, then I think we've really, really
yeah.
hit rock bottom. And at that point, somebody might die.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
no, it's very likely you do the wrong person that in Grass Street, and you end up with a couple in the backside at the very
Yeah.
least.
Let me
So
let me like give a couple points because I feel like you all said so much there, right? Um I think you brought up a good point about hard work versus gaming the system, right? Because in our day, right? Yeah, there were things online, like Cliff Notes or whatever that helped us, not have to read the whole book or, do certain things like that. But we still had to do the work,
You still read
right?
the Cliff Notes.
You still read the Cliff Notes, you still did the
You didn't
research,
read the book, but you
whatever.
read the Cliff Notes.
But your sister sent me a ad or something for some kind of app, or I don't know if somebody sent it to me, that it was essentially like you start writing the paper and it uses AI or whatever to finish writing whatever for you, right? So it's
I
like,
hate I love technology, but I hate us in the technological
but
world.
it's like just making people
Lazy.
stupid, lazy and stupid, right? And there's a reason why, you as painful as essays were, it was communication, critical thinking, um English. You know what I mean? It was all of these essential things, how to argue a point, that kind of thing, that, yeah, it was painful going through it, but we were better for it in the end. But now with technology, there's so many opportunities for them to game the system, right? Like just look up the answers, and not even have to research as hard as we had to research. And I'm sure the generation before us even said that, oh, before we used to have to go to the library and look through books. Now you'll just have to Google. But when we Googled, they didn't have the exact answers, right? Now they are finding exactly, what it is, or just the bare minimum. Even through your sister being in school, you've seen her freak out at the people in her class group chat, just like, I'm just not gonna do this. And she's fascinated by the lack of work ethic or non-carishness, or like the day before, how many people the day before the assignment is due are like, what
Or
a,
a day before asking the teacher for an extension.
right, stuff like that. Now that was a thing when we were in school. There are always going to be people like that, but how she was making it seem
It's more
more
prevalent.
prevalent, exactly. So that hard work versus giving the system kind of thing, it's real, right? The next thing was Vernon brought up something earlier about y'all want to fight and whatever, but you're not focused. You want to fight about stupid things. And there have been some instances where Gen Z has been able to do positive things, right? In terms of like
I don't know. They
politics,
have.
Black Lives
Oh.
Matter, all kind of stuff. So it's like when they are focused on something, it
Right there, use the word focus, and that's what I want.
Mhm.
Focus your energy.
right?
Stop fighting people on side part versus the middle part, and focus on actual things
change
that
yeah.
will affect and better your life.
Right.
Missy.
And that's where I'm saying it's like, but also how they fight is through like a mob mentality kind of thing, right? So that's another thing. It's not like one person
It's
standing
chaos.
on their own. It's like, let's go burn down a building, but it's online, right? And the aspect to kind of what you're saying before is like where us as millennials, we have been more focused on social change, right? Like versus instead of just like stemming the outrage and adding fuel to the fire, how do we get down to the base of the problem and rally all people at different parts, even if it may take longer, right? The thing Adani was saying about everyone like being a YouTuber and that kind of thing or whatnot. And many people on YouTube, millennials on YouTube that I watch have said that it's like y'all don't see all what goes into this, right? A lot of influencers I've seen, they say y'all think it's just take pretty pictures and get all the likes or whatever, but the back end work of reaching out and pitching to brands or doing your accounting, doing whatever, everybody just seen the glamorized
So,
end product.
Here's my thing to that. I agree. I know they have a lot of work behind the scenes on that, but here's my thing. If they have a generation of people who, as it stands, don't want to work already and they want to pick up these things, how do they think they're going to make it?
Well, and this is where I said they're thinking, oh, I can pay someone to do that. All the extra pieces, right?
It don't
Where
work like
a
that.
lot of the people doing it today, they are a one-man band, at least starting out, having to learn and do
You
all
on
the
your own in
skills
the
on
beginning.
themselves, right? Like for us, right? The editing, the social media. At some point, we're going to be pitching to brands and like doing more things like that, right? Writing
But before you
content
go and
and
pitch
whatnot.
to the brand, you have to show the brand that you have work ethic and you can do it on your own.
Well, but
the brand have
also
to be able to look at you and say, okay, that's a hard worker.
but
That man
also
running this, that
that
person
you
running the thing all on their
professional.
own. They're professional. They run it all on their own and show up on time and
You
they work.
professional,
They put out a good
reliable,
product. I
whatever.
can rely on them. They're not going to just wake up one day and say, oh, I don't feel like doing it, so I'm not doing it. I don't want to sound like the old head, but my issue when I look at Gen Z, no work ethic, no they're not consistent. They don't stick to things. Like, I'm not saying, dog, you have to be a slave to a workplace or whatnot, but Missy, you have to take some pride in your job, Missy, and what you're doing. Like, it's always about having to fight. And if you don't have no work ethic, if you don't want to work, how you feel you gonna make it as a YouTuber? Let me tell you something. This YouTuber, TikToker, streamer, that ain't no easy job. You think that is a lot of times people think is take pretty pictures and or just get up and play video games and record it. It's easy.
But I think it's honestly, baby, I think it is like also like a breaking down of systems in a sense, right? Where we've seen it and we know it, right? That you don't have to stay in one career for your life, for the whole of your life, right? And we probably saying, oh, but I can start but we're probably saying for them, yeah, but just start somewhere, give yourself a good foundation, right? And they're saying, oh, well, I can start with YouTube, right? And it's like, because I have heard both of you all say that, right? Like you can't just pitch to everybody, oh, you just do whatever you want, do that kind of thing. But I mean, a lot of the mental health stuff we have is from people, trying to be square pegs in round holes or doing things that are unfulfilling and that kind
Hold
of
on.
thing. But there's a way and a time and place. And I think the
It's
kind
not
of
even there's a way and time
parenting
and
and
place. Right there.
requirements
You
and
you
that kind of
you
thing.
you where I was going to go.
Yeah.
You need to.
It's like, okay, yeah, you can do your YouTube channel, but show that it's going to require this, and this.
It's
But the
not even that,
millennials didn't even need that. Like they just did it on their own and pieced it together.
bruh.
That's another level of hand
It's
holding.
not even that. It's you have to look at someone. Yes, people can do anything they want, but you as a parent need to be able to look at your child and know your child's limits.
Mhm.
And while you can tell your child you can do anything you want, you have to be realistic and know what your child will not be able to do. Okay? Plain and simple. Anushka, your mother would probably tell you can do anything you want, but I guarantee you, your mother not going to look at you, Anushka, and say, Anushka, you can be a basketball player.
No, but I remember I used to hang out in the art room or whatever and like do things like that. And I was considering like wanting to do art or whatever. And my mother was like, absolutely not. Anushka, when you were a child, you didn't even have the patience to color in the lines, right? And she just shut me down.
That's a different thing,
But
to me.
what I'm
Because
saying, but
you not
that
being able
that
to color
goes
in the
in,
lines could have mean you'd have been the greatest fucking artist in the world.
yeah, because screw
Because
the
you'd have done
lines,
abstract
right?
art, a beautiful
Exactly.
abstract painting. That's different, in my
But
opinion.
I
But
think in
that's a double edged sword, eh?
exactly.
Because fast forward into now and you an artist and you struggling and then you'd be like, why didn't my mom, push me harder into something else? And like I wouldn't say you would do that, but I'm just saying I've seen people that have been had regrets that their parents had let them do whatever they want to do and whatever.
But
And
has the other double edge, right? Then having mental health or not mental, but mental emotional blockages around feeling whether you're creative enough, right? Like that's another aspect to it, right? In
And
either case, right, still your parents telling you what you can and can't and shouldn't. It creates something in the end, just
but me
depending on
say,
how it's
but that
done.
go always
Yeah,
happen.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But you say it is how it's done.
Hmm.
And that's my thing. It's like you say, like, yeah, you watch your child and you know your child had like coordination at the best and you try and help them work on it. But at some point you have to look and say, yeah, dog, like you ain't gonna become a golfer or you're gonna become a basketball player. Maybe you'll become something else and maybe you can still try those sports and play those sports on the side as a hobby. But I don't think you should try and make this your all. Like, let's try and find something that you're really good at and that you'll excel at. I'm not saying let's abandon that, but let's try and work to get you in
or
something that in
or
the long
even
run you feel fulfilled doing.
or even if you try and do this, have a backup plan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Not
Yeah.
putting all your eggs in
So
one
so you
basket.
try it, you give yourself a realistic date, you try it, and if you don't meet those goals by that time, you start working on your backup plan, whatever that might be, going to school, studying something, picking up a trade, etc. You know, but not telling them no, but like being realistic. Like how many people out of the US even make it to the NBA or the MLS or the
Mhm.
NFL or like
Well,
giving them realistic, like, okay, let's get into university first. You the university team, if you're doing well, okay, let's finish university, then we'll see if we can make it into the
no,
NBA or G League or something. But
look
if you
at that.
don't make it by a certain age, like here's what we're gonna do. Here's your backup plan.
Look at what you say in there. Just off what you say in there. How many of these athletes, these kids grow up with dreams of, I'll make it to the NFL?
Mhm.
And they put all the effort and everything into football and make it to the NFL. They don't think of a backup plan.
Mhm.
And along the way, before they even reach the NFL,
They
maybe
get
high school, maybe
injured or
first
something.
year of college, the college that give them a scholarship, they get injured. They get injured, and now they're stuck doing what? Some of them, they don't finish high school, they don't finish college, they're stuck working dead end jobs, barely making enough to make ends meet. That's because nobody taught them about a backup plan. Everybody just told them you can wake up and tomorrow, if you decide you want to become a race car driver, you're a race car driver.
Yeah, it's almost
Nobody
like
teach them.
the athletes and celebrities are now our like YouTubers and
But it
our internet famous people. You know what I mean? Like,
and my issue with all of this is I look at all of this Gen Z and all these things and I see chaos. And I don't like chaos. That's just me. There's no rhyme or rhythm to any of it. It's just I doing what I feel like. I wake up, I decide I want to be a YouTuber, so I buy a camera and I'm a YouTuber now. And here's the thing. They're a YouTuber and they're putting out videos, but they're not even putting out quality videos. They just think if I just put out anything, I must make it. Nobody actually sits down and focus, make a plan. And it's just that's what I want to do. That's what I do. My parents tell me I can do anything I want. I just doing what I want. Like, dog, at the end of the day, Missy, life do work that way. Eh? Like, knock, knock, wake up, smell the coffee, rude awakening, whatever the fuck you want. Life does not work that way. There are sometimes
also,
you cannot do what you want.
but you see, on the other side of the thing, if I'm thinking of Gen Zers that I've met in real life, be it people, siblings, or people in like some of the mentoring programs I'm in, some of them, they also like have no idea,
So you see
where
what you
they
just
want
said
to
there?
go.
That's the next thing for me about Gen Z. They think they know everything, but they need to realize y'all don't know shit.
Damn, but I'm so aggressive.
No. Let's be real. Yes, it's a little aggressive, but you never see how a Gen Z talks on the internet. You never see them in the comments. They're so sure. They said they're so confident, and I'm not knocking your confidence and how sure you are, but a lot of the time what they're saying, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just spewing their opinion and they screaming it.
But
and they're screaming it, and you must listen and you must take it
we are
seriously.
also part of the problem with the kind of content we've been putting online for them to drink up, right? And empower them and spew as their narrative.
I don't care about the content. It's the
right?
empowerment. It's the empowering factor.
So perfect
it's the fact
example.
That they think they know everything.
Perfect
and they
example.
Don't know shit.
I mean, I met a 18-year-old girl over the weekend, right? That I didn't know, just graduate high school, right? But she just graduated, and I'm there with my friend who is 10 years older than her, and they were having a conversation about being a black woman and not being desired by black men, right? And the 18-year-old was talking with as much confidence and sis, as her 28-year-old counterpart, right? And I'm not discounting her life experience, but she is also
18.
only 18. But speaking with that kind of gumption and thing, as if she has lived a life of 15 years of being a scorned black woman, kind of sort of thing.
That's right.
But that is also due to what they're consuming, what they buying into, and the things around them.
No, what that is because the parents let them
Generational.
believe they have a say in everything. When you let somebody believe, or you empower somebody to believe that they have a say and they have a control and they have their opinion matters in everything, they move through life that way. And don't get me wrong, they have nothing wrong with people having confidence and believing their voice matters and whatnot. But it comes, for me, you have to make them also self-aware and make them be able to scan a room or read the room and understand that,
and
hey,
know your place.
in this case, My voice don't matter. My
It's
opinion,
not that your voice doesn't matter.
It's not doesn't matter. My
but I
opinion,
think
it doesn't hold as much weight,
weight.
as the other people right now.
Mhm,
So maybe I need to just step back a bit and let them talk.
I
You
think
don't have to
I
be
think-
in everything.
I think the other thing that was eye-opening, and I don't know if it's just this girl or if this is also a trend. She was saying, she wants to go and do nursing or something like that, right? And her motivation was solely not because she liked so much nursing or that's what she wanted to do. What she wanted to do is psychology, but she would have to go to school for so many years to be able to make sense as a psychologist. So I'ma just go and do nursing and just make this money.
So my thing.
So
Hold
you
on.
saying people chasing their dreams, but they also have people saying because of what people going through with student debt, and I want to do that, I just gonna do something that gonna make me get my bag. And I said it like that specifically about getting my bag because
That's what they
what's
say.
out there.
Okay, I heard that. I am knocking that dog.
And some of
Make
them
your money.
they out here, and that was another conversation. They were also out there. Some of them they working, they have jobs, they're in high school, but have jobs, and they working 8 to 10 hour shifts, working doubles at fast food, or not fast food places, but restaurants and stuff, to make their bag.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing to that.
And comparatively, the older me and the older, well, not me, but the older person my age that was there, the millennial that was there, was like, why the hell are you 18 working double shifts for why you are just like living your life,
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Right? They don't see that in the attempt to avoid all the stress and whatnot, the things that they don't want to go through, right?
Mhm.
Because in your mind, I want to become a psychologist, but I don't have to go through the how many years of school, the stress of school, the money, all that stuff. I just want to go and work this job and make my bag. Okay, yes, you're making the bag. But in the end, you still ending up with the same stress and whatnot because now you're in a job that you don't really want to be in.
Mhm.
You're just there for the bag, and now the stress is even worse
Mhm.
because you're not doing what you love.
Mhm.
That's what they know. That's why I
But
feel that's the chaos I'm talking about.
But here's the thing.
not thinking.
So one of the things online was saying about versus us and them, they growing up or grew up in a recession or whatever, right? And the pandemic now is also like something on them, right? So we maybe grew up in a better time, right, than they have, and I guess they have more of the realities, marking their experience. Like certain things like student debt and all of that is in the narrative. So they saying,
Missy, I don't knocking all of that. Here's my thing. In these people attempt to disrupt and quote unquote work smarter, they're actually not working smarter. They're making themselves work harder in the long. Let me tell you something. Let me give you an example. Stop. No.
Okay.
Let me paint a picture for you. Let me paint a picture for you. All right. Gen Z wakes up and decides they want to become a Twitch streamer. I pick Twitch. They want to become a Twitch streamer. All right. They sit down, put on the computer, and they start playing the video games. And they get 5 viewers this month, 10 viewers the next month, 20 viewers. Then, a little hit, it go back down to 8 viewers kind of thing. And it's an up and down like that and whatnot. Until maybe 3-4 years from now, they finally make it and they consistently getting 2,000, 3,000 viewers and they're making some money from it. It's not a lot, but they're making some money. In that time, they were better off going to school, getting that degree, and going and get that job and just getting it over with and making the money. I'm not saying that's the path they have to take, but in the attempt to run away from the 9 to 5 because, I don't want to work a day job, I don't want to go to school and whatnot, they're taking the longer, harder road because they quote unquote thinking they're working smarter instead of harder. You're still working harder.
Yeah.
In fact, you're working working much harder than the person that just goes to school, gets a degree, and gets a 9 to 5. Because now the person just have to go to work, 9 to 5, come back home, and they know every 2 weeks that paycheck coming in the bank account. You have
I
that uncertainty now in that life of yours that you so desperately wanted because you wanted to run away from the norm.
I am just gonna say this. Y'all know already. Take everything we say with a grain of salt, because I know we made some generalizations and that kind of thing, but we just, chatting and having a discussion of the what ifs and what could be's and just things that we're seeing. But I think probably all of us, as painful as it may be or insightful as it may be, probably need to find a Gen Z to spend some time with.
No.
No, but for real, because we're gonna have to live with them, right? We're going to become and are becoming the older generation that's going to have these people as our employees or as our, I don't know,
So here's my thing.
like
While I
they're
agree with you
gonna
on that,
be in our lives, and if we are not spending quality kind of times with them, then we won't be able to have this knowledge exchange and say, have you thought about it this way, that way, whatever?
so
Because they were raised by either Gen
let me
Xers,
ask you a question.
mhm,
Let me ask you a
or
question.
older
Listen to what you
millennials.
just said there about having a knowledge exchange and telling them, have you thought about it this way?
We had that with people that were
Stop.
older than us.
Yes. The people that were older than us, they were willing to listen. The Gen Zs
You
are not
cannot
willing to
generalize
listen.
that no one is gonna want to listen to you. We only go, and yes, but there may be some that will. Yeah, you don't remember? I hear old men in my, oh, the problem with these young people is they don't want to listen. You've heard that before,
I've heard that. And don't get,
right?
they don't want to listen.
But
Here's the thing. Let me show you something.
Mhm,
When they said that about us, we
mhm,
didn't want to listen. We were just going about our business, doing what we want.
mhm.
You want to know what's the difference between us and them? On top of they don't want to listen, they want to go about and do what they want. They before they go and do it, they'll stop and turn and scream at us that fuck you, I not listen, I go to go and do what I
No,
want.
they're not going to do it in person because they don't have the social thing to do that.
Either
They're
way,
going to be
they are
like,
going to scream it, they're going to
on
send
their
you an
phone.
email
They're
or a
not sending
text
you
or
anything.
something.
They're not sending you anything because they're
They
not
will
gonna be
they
doing
will
the
subtweet you
okay.
or fuck this employer, I'ma do what I want, whatever, whatever.
Yeah, so I see and gets right, right?
Bruh,
Like,
you can't go through life that way.
the thing is, when and there are things for us to learn as well, right? Like,
Yeah, not
it's
to be an
not
asshole.
damn Vernon. Wow. Guys, always trying to push some positivity here.
Yeah.
Adani.
So what's our
Middleman.
takeaway? What's our
I was
takeaway?
trying to give takeaways, but
Give your takeaway.
Vernon's just like, fuck no.
Go ahead, give your takeaway.
No,
Because
I'm
I feel a way
saying
about Gen Z. And it's not a hatred or dislike.
sounds
It's
like a
no,
hatred.
no. You need to understand this is I watching and I seen y'all motherfuckers have so much power,
Mhm.
but y'all using that power in the wrong way and it angers and it frustrates me. Y'all need to channel that chaos and use it for something. Let me tell you something. Gen Zs can change their life significantly and make it so much better for themselves, but they just not focusing on the right things.
Mhm, mhm.
Like I watch it. Let me tell you something. Gen Zs can. Let me tell you something. Gen Zs can.
And all I'm saying is find a Gen Z to impart that knowledge on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's
Let
all
me tell you
I'm
something.
saying.
Let me tell you something. My patience very thin. And maybe somebody else can take up that project. That's
Maybe
not
I
for
should
me.
make you mentor in my program.
Nah, I can't do that. I already cannot deal.
Because
I already cannot.
those people in the program we're talking about are more focused, right? So it's like,
I already cannot deal with the people my age and the people older than me because at the end of the day, I look at I don't know, I look at people and I watch the way people move around and do things and I see and I'm like, bro, are you not thinking? Like I told you something the other day and it stands true. It's a lot of grown people that still have a lot of growing up to do to me.
yeah.
That's just all I see. And I'm not saying I'm the most grown and I have life all figured out
mhm.
and whatnot. Believe me, I don't. But here's the thing. I'm very fucking self-aware of my shortcomings, and I constantly try and work on my shit. And that's the thing for me with these people. A lot of them, they're not self-aware of their shortcomings. They think they're perfect. Their parents have raised them thinking, you're perfect just the way you are, and you can do whatever you want, and you'll get anything you want in life and whatnot. And it's like their parents have put this bubble around them that have put them with these rose-colored glasses, and they're not seeing life for what it actually is and the way it is, in that it doesn't work that way. For you to get things in life, you have to work hard. That's just how it is. Plain and simple. You may watch somebody and say, oh, that person have all the money in the world from doing this because they're a YouTuber and they can just buy whatever and they're not working hard. Nah, my nigga, that person worked hard. You don't see what they're doing behind the scenes, the time they spend in editing, and how many times they probably reshoot a video and whatnot. Everything taking hard work, Missy. Work ethic is a big thing. You have to have work ethic to make it in life.
Absolutely. Adani, what's your hot takes?
My hot take is not long. Just piggybacking on what Vernon's saying. Everything takes hard work. I think social media and in general media and the world have kind of dramatized and romanticized everything that people do. Like if you're a doctor, like all you have to do is just show up with your coat, save a life, and kiss the sexy female doctor and go back at your home because
like how it's disease and go
like being a doctor is Grey's Anatomy, being an engineer is Mr. Robot, and being a fireman in Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. But all these things are dramatized. All these things are just, like all these things are the end result and not even always the end result. Like a lot of things people do daily are not as romantic, not as, high energy, but they still require tons of hard work, right? Doctors have to go to school at least 5 to 8 years, right? And then that's not even counting their residency and other things that they have to do. Like, engineers, all those hard nights staying and studying, everything you want to do have hard work. Even though you want to edit a YouTube video, if you want to be good and actually be a proper YouTuber, you need to edit good videos. You need to get good equipment. You need to learn how to use it. If you want to be a photographer, a videographer, if you want to play games on Twitch, you have to put in them hours, right? Natural talent will only get you so far. So saying that to say, work hard, don't cow. You got that right. And, live your life to the best of your ability. Not just what you see people doing online, but do what you want to do. Not just what people tell you can do. But do your research, read. You don't read enough. Like, read, Missy.
But the thing is,
Enid Blyton. Have any of you heard of Enid Blyton? Like, come on, man. Come on. Enid was the meaning.
Read like me say, people have cell phones. You have a computer in your hand, and some of y'all steal them. You only want to read, me say?
Like it's now over 140 characters. Is just
versus reading on your phone is another story, right?
Dog, I don't care. Just read.
I mean, full disclosure, I still read Harry Potter fan fiction. Like I still read other stories. Like it just stimulates the mind. Like and I think that's a big thing. And like people don't read anymore, so their imagination is very stunted. They see everything they need to see on YouTube and social media.
Adani,
that's my takeaway.
Adani bringing up a point there, and I just realized it. Like, Anushka, you said it earlier that they have people using AI to write and whatnot. Maybe think about it.
I want no AI right
No. When last have you gone to a bookstore and you've seen a book by a new author? Or something on, but
it's millennials and older people.
But think about I just want to put it in perspective for you. I looking at a genre that I read a lot. That is
the spy
fiction thing. When I go in a bookstore, Robert Ludlum, Tom Clancy
Well,
or
the f-
John Grisham.
the fact that you're going in the bookstores is a part in that. So like for me, I'm on Goodreads and following certain things on Amazon, so I get the things of
Okay.
new authors in that genre.
Okay.
There are new authors popping out. There are more authors that are people of color and
Okay,
younger
but what I'm
and that
asking,
kind of
what I'm
thing.
asking you now is because I say this to ask. Do you think we're going to keep having with what you just said there about people using AI? You think we're going to keep getting new and new creatives
Yes.
writing these things and whatnot?
Yes, because
it
our
sounded like people don't
generation
want to write, like people
no
want to just record.
our generation is doing it. Our generation is writing, and there's always
Okay.
going to be the value of a
So
written
will you
book.
think Gen Z at some point will get to, doing that for
Depends
us?
on how the next decade is gonna go, with how they
God.
mature.
Oh my God, I'm afraid for books at that point. Anyway, we have a long life to live, so maybe we'll keep writing. Maybe I'll die before they start writing books. Because
Oh,
boy,
gosh.
I refer to certain Gen Z would write as a spy novel.
You need to write your spy novel.
Nah, I don't want to write that.
It would probably be like a reverse coloring book. Like you'll have like a lot of images, a lot of like hashtags. Like you'll have some social integration when you read a page.
Just
like
a
you'll
whole
send a
set of-
tweet.
Just a whole set of QR codes.
Yeah, when you read when you read a page, you'll send a tweet.
My take is the same take I was trying to give. I say the fact of the matter is we're going to have to live with them, and Danny gave some great advice, but majority of the people listening to our podcast are millennials, not Gen Z, right? So it's like for all of us, right? The three of us and everyone listening, right? Like, how do we like bridge the gap? And I guess just let us know, did you all feel like we were harsh? Like,
Oh no, I know
there...
I was harsh. But here's the thing.
I'm not asking you, I'm asking the listeners.
But Anushka, which listener go listen to that and say I wasn't harsh or say part of what we said wasn't harsh?
But like, was it wrong? Like, is there a different perspective? Like, because I think this is a discussion that we're going to need to like continue to have and explore as we kind of get older.
Deal with these.
Yeah, because as I said,
zebras.
the point my Facebook friend brought up on in the workplace, like that's a serious place we going to see it, especially like since they're not like the best with social stuff, and now are they going to also be entering a work from home environment, not being good with social skills? Like that's a whole mind thing in itself.
That's a generation they give participation ribbons to and stuff.
Millennials got some
yeah, towards the back end.
Yeah.
But that's the main participation ribbon.
Anyway, guys. Vernon, it's your time.
No, I said that's fair already.
Vernon, it's your time.
I mean, it's my time. Oh, really, Anushka? Guys, I hope everyone has a good week. Please interact with us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Let us know your thoughts and feelings on this episode, and how you feel about the whole Gen Z situation, or even just the Naomi Osaka thing. Just we just want to hear your thoughts. Tell us if you think tell me if you think I'm wrong. I mean, more than likely all of y'all think I'm wrong. It is what it is. But it's been another episode of the Caribbean Millennials podcast. We're out.